Live. And we're going to hit the intro countdown. Live from the happiest place in the Lone Star State, welcome back to the Talking Mickey Project. TMP is your home for Disney fans of all abilities. Now, it's your host, Emma.
We need to know what we're at, Gary.
Yeah, raising a roof.
And you know it might be weird.
Oh, well, I think you need to say hello.
Oh.
There's people watching.
Well,
There they are.
hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Ooh, I just did this a few days ago and I'm still rusty. What is going on with that? Actually, I'm Kevin. How are you? Good to meet you.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm Dad. All right, so tonight, guys, we have a great interview. Emma had did an interview with her new friend.
Gray Hauser,
That's
the
right.
owner of disabilityAtDisney.com and now Marvel New.
That's right. And Gray had a lot of information to share. He had a great sense of humor. We had fun with this one. So stay tuned. This is going to be a really good interview.
He also knows a YouTuber named Rob who owns the account Midway Commentary, and before that was Rob Blake, because he used to play games.
That's exactly right. So hopefully
And
we'll hear from them.
Minecraft was one of them.
But we're going to be talking to Rob through the recorded interview tonight, right?
Right.
So let's say hi to some folks. There's people out there we haven't said hello to. So welcome back, William. Good to see you. Sarah says, hi, I love watching you live. Thank you very much. Emma does a great job.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon is here. He's watching from Las Vegas. Ooh, the city of lights and all kind of stuff over there, huh? Music, and they do a lot of entertainment.
Yeah,
hey, Patrick is here. Jedi Magic and more. Good to see you too.
Okay, my friend Patrick.
And Jonathan. Good to see you again, Jonathan. Welcome back to Talking Mickey Project. We hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend with your family and friends. Tonight's live stream is Disability at Disney with Gray Hauser.
You're on a roll, sir.
He is awesome.
I can't wait to finally meet you in person next Sunday.
That's right. Walt's we will.
Birthday.
Oh, and now here's your host, Skipper Dad and Emma. How about Emma and Skipper Dad? And remember to make sure to comment, donate, and share the video to support Talking Mickey Project. Yes. And visit talkingmickey.com/fiesta to support Fact Institute. Incorporated, Fiesta Especial, SA Life Academy, and Disability SA. Man, he is awesome at this. He should be a professional announcer. He's got it all down. All righty.
Well, remind me of Mr. Isaac Nelson, who did.
Oh, Isaac Nail that does on other live streams? Yeah, he's right on the spot, isn't he? Very cool. Well, I think we need to show what's coming up next because we got to get to an interview. So, guys, just to give you a heads up, today is Saturday. So, Wednesday of this week, which is going to be the 1st of December. Wow, it's happening fast, isn't it? So, December 1st, Muppet Christmas Carol Trivia Night. Woo! Hey, Kermit the Frog here. Not really, huh? Well, anyway, we watched this today to kind of refresh some memories. Got a bunch of great trivia stuff from this one. You're going to love this one. If you have not seen it, go to Disney Plus or try to find a copy of it or watch it online, wherever you can find it. It is a very good story, Muppet Christmas Carol, and it's uniquely done by the Muppets, of course. So check that out. That is Wednesday, December 1st, Trivia Night. Be here or be square. That doesn't even rhyme.
That's fun from now.
Okay. And next Saturday night, so a week from tonight, Dina Benedon, Brent Young, and Robert Coker, the people who worked on, owned, and worked on the restoration of the Walt Disney birthplace in Chicago, Illinois. This is where Walt and Roy were born. Very cool. This is before Walt moved to Marceline. So he was there until he was about 4 years old. So check this out. It is an amazing interview. That'll be a week from tonight, right? Mark your calendars. What's next?
Do the sponsors.
Do the sponsors. Okay. Hey, there's Gray. Good to see you, sir. Glad you're here. He's so excited for this to finally premiere. I know, huh? We interviewed him a while back. Didn't realize we were going to save it for a good weekend. We did save it for Thanksgiving weekend. So thank you for being here and for being patient. This is awesome. Let's see what else. I'm looking. Hey, Susan, thank you. And thank you for your donation to Emma's campaign. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Susan.
Thank you very much for doing that. And Gray's and his mom, I think it was his mom, were donors as well. And lots of other folks. We really appreciate it. We've got your Fiesta medals coming to you through the mail. That's right. All right. So last thing before we get to the interview, let us talk real quick. Real quick. All right. So one of Emma's supporters is Storybook Trips by Bridget Langford. Miss Bridget, as Emma calls her, is our official Disney travel planner, Emma's fairy godmother, so to speak. And she has planned our Disney trips from a couple of years ago and all the way through to today, last year as well. She is awesome. She knows a lot about it. And she's a huge supporter of Emma. And we really appreciate that. And also, Beyond Disability Texas. This is Emma's mom, who's in the chat. Encourage her to do more episodes, please. She has a new channel on YouTube. It's been out there for a few months now.
So make her go check it out and show her some support from y'all and be positive about it.
That would be awesome.
And make her hit the like button for her video. Only video.
She has one so far. But her and she has a podcast out there. It's got other episodes on where you find podcasts. But Beyond Disability Texas is out there to help families with special needs children or adults find the resources they need. It is a free podcast. It's just a hobby that Melissa has and I have to help her with. And it's just to help find resources. There's nothing fancy about it. It's if we find someone that we think is interesting to talk to, it's been shared out there. It includes agency organizations, family members, other parents and guardians of special needs children, just information that's available, right? Hopefully it'll grow because I'm encouraging Melissa. She does a great job. She really does a good job with these things. So I'm hoping she will do more.
You can also find my mom's podcast on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts.
And Mike says, just pop it in and hit the like button. He'll catch it on the replay.
Awesome, Mike.
Thank you very much, Mike. Oh, goodness. All right. We are waiting for tonight's interview. Yes, you are.
Yes, yeah, Grandma.
And it's coming up, I think, right about now.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
How do we do this again? I forgot. What do we do? What do we do? We do 1, 2, 3. Bibbidi bobbidi.
Thank you. Great. How can I come on my show? Is that right?
I am delighted to be here. I am delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
There you go. All right. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, we have a bunch of questions for you about the websites that you do and about how you got into doing them. So if you're ready, we can start.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever y'all are.
All right. Well, here is number 1.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Gray Hauser, as I hope you would know from the intro. I think you got that across crystal clear. I've been a lifelong Disney fan from the time I was like yay high, and I'm doing like my hands low off the camera, like to indicate height. And it comes because for me of my vision, right? I have difficulty seeing. I was born 16 weeks early, 23 weeks, 5 days gestation. And the one like lingering side effect of that is my vision. And, when you go to Disney, they really go the extra mile to be accommodating. I think you guys would know that as well, if not better than I do. And that kind of fostered an early love for the parks, as kind of a place of acceptance. And then the product is just so good, right? The rides are so good. The food's so good. It's all top notch. So that just kind of feeds into each other and really is the reason why I like the park so much. But, being legally blind, I do have trouble seeing. Like I'm looking at an iPad, and like I can't read any of the text that's on it, even sitting just like 3 feet away. So that affects my daily life, and that's kind of why I started a Disability at Disney, to help people like myself who maybe want to go but don't know all the ins and the outs, and really to help other people.
Oh.
So they won't be nervous.
Very good answer.
Yeah, it's a very good answer, as she said. Well, y'all have a little bit in common, at least from the early birth side. So Emma was born about 25 weeks, and she was just under a pound.
Wow.
So you want to ask your question here?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You have it on the screen.
I have both near and far-sighted in both eyes.
Yeah, she has vision that's nearsighted in one and farsighted in another. So the lenses are different thicknesses.
Right. Yeah.
So retinopathy of prematurity, I think, is what it was.
Yes. Well, please, I know all about. I have nystagmus, and obviously nothing to a terribly extreme level. I mean, I say that. I always tell people that I don't think it's bad because I've never known any different. Like to me, it is just normal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe other people see the world, in 4K or 8K, and I'm sitting over here with my 720p, TV from the 90s. But I think you can see with my glasses that they are rather thick, and they're the same thickness roughly in each eye. And it's easy to be a little self-conscious about that. Like it makes your eyes smaller. Like looking at me, because you can see that my eyes are actually normal size. But then when I put on my glasses, they appear, like 50% smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, I have a very loving and accepting family and great friends. So they've never made me feel other. And I know that some people don't have that support system there.
Yeah.
And so I would like to think it doesn't affect my life as much as it could, but once again, I don't know.
Okay. Well, there you go. That answers the question then. Because Emma was saying, yeah, she was born early. How has it affected your life? So, yeah, it's something that you've had from the beginning. So it's just normal. Yeah.
Normal.
That's right. Same for you, huh?
Yeah.
You've had glasses since you were a little baby and have had, other kind of challenges that you've dealt with, but you've overcome them all. And now you're able to do things like this.
Including a Mickey glasses.
That's right. When Emma was little, she had Mickey Mouse glasses with Mickey on the temple.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. We've got some pictures of when she was 4, her first visit to Walt Disney World, wearing a Tinkerbell costume, going to Chef Mickey's in the Contemporary, just running through the lobby of the hotel wearing this outfit and her little glasses.
Oh,
so she was amazing. She's a little older now. I don't know if you can get away with that today. All righty. You ready for number 3?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I thought we were going to do number 2.
Well, we sort of addressed that one just now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. It's okay.
Okay. What is your first Disney-related memory?
There you go.
Oh, okay. This is a good one. Because okay, I was at Disney World. I had to be like 3 or 4. It was our best friends. I think we're actually going out to eat tonight or tomorrow. And like next door neighbors, best buds, and we were, going around the park, and I wasn't yet tall enough, nor was my best friend tall enough to ride any of the rides. But she had like one of those big poofy bows in her hair. The cast member was like, "Cool, yeah, come on in, you can ride Splash Mountain." But you, little gray, no. And I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, you can tell that extra half a foot isn't really there, man. That's a bow. I need lifts. And that is, so it's not a happy memory. So, and then there's also a memory from that same trip of us huddling under the castle in a torrential downpour, trying to put on like ponchos. And excuse me, that's my next door neighbor with a dog. Yeah, so that is torrential rain, not getting on Splash Mountain, etc. are my first Disney memories.
There you go. You never know what those memories are going to be. What sticks in your head,
control
right?
over them. I'd like them to be better. It's also worth my other best friend at the time. He bought one of those, those little hooks that they sell in the gift shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at like Pirates, those are the Captain Hook hooks. He dropped it in the lagoon. We were coming over from the Grand Floridian on the ferry.
Uh-oh.
And we were going to just do it about a year ago, the two of us, for the first time he had been back since that incident. And I went over to like the gift shop, and I'm like, "Hey, remember this?" And I pulled out a hook. He's like, "Yeah, I remember. Don't rub it in."
That's cool. That is so funny. Isn't that cool? Oh yeah, that's awesome. Those are good memories. I mean, they're kind of, maybe they're good, maybe they're not in terms of what happened, but they're good memories because you laugh about them and you enjoy them now, right? There you go. All right. Well, you ready for number 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
What inspired you to start DisabilityAtDisney.com?
Well, it's actually funny. I was talking to Lou Mangello, who I think you guys have interviewed.
Yeah.
And Lou's like, "Well, Gray, you have the news site, you have Monterey News, but why don't you try and lean into the disability? Because that's something that sets you apart and makes you different from the competition." And then I kind of took that idea and played with some names and got a website design done and had a logo made up, and then it just kind of ballooned from there. And it's actually not even 6 months old yet. We launched, I think, officially in July. So I'm really pleased with the growth we've seen in that time period. And I get messages from people very, very frequently asking me to help them with something or plan this or in that. That is the most fulfilling thing that I found with both sides, right? going to the media events is cool, and getting to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure before it opens is great. But, you know, it does warm your heart a little bit to help people, you know, who want to make those memories for themselves and their family.
Yep. That's really good. And I remember seeing the first time I saw the website, I saw the social media, and I was like, we have to connect with you. So I was telling Emma about it, because Emma's been doing this for a little over a year.
Right.
She started in September of last year, I guess, around there, August, September. And one of the challenges we've talked about a lot of times is that it's hard to connect with other people, at least so far it has been for us, with other people in the Disney disability community.
Right.
Because she wants to reach out to them. She wants to help. She wants to talk to them, understand what they're working on, you know, share memories, talk about things. But it's just so hard. It's been hard to find them. So how has that worked for you?
So, you know, our approach isn't so much seeking people out. It's kind of the, if you build it, then they will come.
Okay.
Right. That I have one relatively minor disability compared to the vast swaths of disabilities, you know, that that are out there. And my hope is that we can kind of build a home and a community for those people. Yeah, so eventually it won't just be me answering questions on Facebook Messenger. You know, it will be, you know, a Facebook group or a Discord chat or something where, you know, there's a community of people who, you know, really help each other out and support each other. And that's a long-term growth goal, right? Like, that's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen next month. It might not even happen in the next year, you know, but that is the goal.
Well, that's a great one, because that's something that we're trying to do and work with Emma to. She set up a Facebook group, but, you know, trying to find people and just, you know, to reach out to them. And I don't know if it's just there hasn't been as much information available. And now that what you're doing is going to make it more accessible to people, maybe that community will grow and can connect a little more. But I know that's been your goal, right? Yeah.
If you like to know what it's called, it is called Differently Able Disney Fans.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I will have to. I think I've seen that, actually. I need to join it. Thank you so much for giving me the name.
Yeah. There you go. Differently Able Disney Fans. And we were trying to figure out what to call things, because, you know, you want to be respectful to people. So we've tried to do, you know, all abilities, and sometimes that's not specific enough for some people. So it's, you know, we're trying to figure it out as we go. But Emma's goal in starting the channel in the first place was to kind of share all of her knowledge in Disney. She loves Disney history and all the details. And then also to kind of demonstrate to other people that regardless of what disability you have, you can accomplish things. You can accomplish what you're dreaming of doing with, you know, family and friends that'll help, and by learning and working and, you know, those kind of things. There's not limitations like people may think there are.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we can bring, I'm thinking of some people in particular who I've known. If we can bring some people and let them see the light, right, we've done our work.
Yeah, that makes sense. All righty, are you ready for the next one?
Let's go. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
What types of stories do you include on your website? Where did your idea come from?
So, you know, I really, we try and balance news and then, you know, like restaurant reviews, right? So one of the things that I'm really kind of conscious of is that the relationship between the two sites can be symbiotic, right? We can post a news story on Monorail News and then cross-post it to Disability at Disney, or post Disability at Disney and cross-post it on Monorail News, right? So we look at it more as a holistic ecosystem of sites and of stories. And, a lot of the stories that we do include are things that I found on the internet, or things that people will reach out to me and go, hey, what rides are wheelchair accessible? And I'm like, well, I could answer this comment, send the guy back an email, or I could do a post about it and then email him and tell him, hey, I thought your question was so great that we did a whole story about it, and we're going to do more, coming soon. And we have to hope, that writing that story doesn't take, the precious time that person, might have had a window of 2 or 3 weeks when they need an answer by. So it's, trying to get a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Is important too.
So you see that? So news and other interests, but also responding, right, to what's going on, helping people out.
I do have a question. This is not on the website.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's an unofficial question.
Unofficial question. Related to Disney.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it? I was laughing too much. Go ahead.
One is, do you know the DAS Pass?
Oh, the DAS Pass, yes.
Yes. DAS has been so helpful to me. Right. And it's funny, I didn't know that DAS existed until I was like 15 years old. Right. Like, it just changed my life at Disney. And I think the changes they're making that will launch with Genie, I think on the 19th, is going to make the service that much better, right? The idea that you can apply online and then have your DAS status for 6 months, right, versus just 30 days, is game changing. And the idea that you can make reservations for rides in the app.
Yeah.
And that you don't have to physically walk up to the attraction, because there are people who have mobility issues, right? And that kind of disability. And it's a pain if they're at Splash Mountain and they want to go ride Space Mountain to trek all the way across the park. So the idea that, and then be told, oh, you have to wait, an hour and 15 minutes. Then you have to go find something else to do, maybe in Fantasyland, you know? So the idea that you can join that as soon as you get off, that previous attraction, I think is going to be game changing. And, I do like that Disney is beefing up the teeth, right? That there are people really and truly, I don't want to say the scourge of the earth, but just truly, truly despicable people who try and fake a disability to get the pass, right? And the idea now that we're going to give cast members some teeth, and that if they somehow find out that you've lied to them in an effort to get the pass, that you'll be banned from the parks for a year, right? Obviously, that's what needs to happen, because that's the reason why we went from the GAT card to the DAS system, right? Was people were abusing it. And I guess people are still abusing it, and we need, some sort of enforcement mechanism.
And that's new, because I guess we've probably used it for a few years, maybe back. Trying to think, there was a gap in time. We live in Texas now. There was a gap in time where we didn't go for several years because of the distance and other things going on. But the last time we went, we used the regular DAS, and that was last November. The October before that, we went to Disneyland for the first time and used the Max Pass coupled with their version of the DAS. And the fact that you can go to a kiosk and have that set up regardless of where you were, made a big difference. And now if you can do it in the app, it's even better, right?
No, I mean, I went to Disneyland. Oh, sorry. I went to Disneyland, I think in 2015, 2016, and I loved the kiosks. And I'm like, when are they going to bring this to Florida? And it's almost weird, because Disneyland's a smaller park. So like, if they're going to have kiosks, that makes sense in Epcot or Animal Kingdom, right, where the parks are huge. It's like in Disney, it's like, oh, well, you can make it at this kiosk, or you could walk 50 yards to the ride.
We did that in front of Haunted Mansion. There was one by a tree, and then Haunted Mansion was like, 20, 30 feet away. But they could help you with other things too. So we kept going back to those people, those cast members.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that podium. Yes,
That's awesome.
The cast members working that particular podium were phenomenal, and
Yeah.
obviously that's been like 6 or 7 years now, so I don't know whether or not they still work there, but kudos to them. A big cast compliment, a
Definitely.
belated cast compliment.
That was a really good question. Yeah.
That's a good question.
All righty. Are you ready for? We were going to talk about. Oh yeah. Okay. How number 6? I think we're on number 6.
Well, are we on number 6 or number 7?
Well, number 6 is how has accessibility in Disney parks changed over the years? So I don't think we asked that one yet.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
No.
Okay.
Am I good to answer?
Yeah, your turn.
Okay.
Sorry about
that.
that.
Okay.
You know, disability access at Disney has always been phenomenal, right? Like, as long as I've known it's a thing. And I think the changes that they've made, obviously the GAC, I think, was like better for time saving, right? That you didn't have to, get a return time. And then when they did away with that, I was kind of disappointed, because it felt like, I don't know, the GAC system felt like, like we recognize that you have all of these, things that challenge you in day-to-day life. And when you come to Disney, we want you to feel special. So come right up to the front of the line, and then the idea that there were people who were like, oh, I have arthritis. Give me the GAC card.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, now we have to do away with it. We have to change the system, right? It was understandable, but disappointing.
Yeah.
And I think now it's going to be so much better with the DAS 2.0, right? I think that is going to be a major, major change. And I know that I've mentioned that, like, oh, I have trouble seeing the cast members like before the fireworks, and literally one time I was taken like by the arm and walked right up to the front of the viewing area, and like that kind of service and that kind of accommodation, is not something you see everywhere. That's what sets Disney apart.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say, it reminded me of a story. Emma learns and has been learning over time American Sign Language.
Yes.
ASL, that's right. And
yes.
She, we went to Candlelight Processional several years ago in Epcot.
Love
and
Candlelight Processional.
We asked, can we sit by the interpreter, by the sign language interpreter, because she was learning and she wanted to do that. And they said, absolutely. They brought us down and we were sitting right in front of the stage, right in front of the interpreter. So to see, the interpreter going through everything she did for the whole show was amazing. We've got video of that. That was a special memory, right?
Yes.
And it helped her to understand how that skill can be used in a practical way in a job or to help people in the community or whatever else versus just learning it for your own sake, right?
Well, it's funny because we see just in the past year to 18 months, the prevalence of sign language interpreters, right? My other thing I do is policy and politics.
Okay.
And if you go watch any briefing, whether it's maybe the governor or the president or whomever, right? It's constantly now they have a little box at the bottom of the screen that has the sign language interpreter. And I don't know what flipped the switch, right? And now if you go to whitehouse.gov, they have tons of accessibility options that weren't there previously. So I think it's becoming more and more mainstream. And now it's becoming to the point where it's weird and an abnormality if you don't have those sort of accommodations and things, in public life.
Yeah. Have you noticed that too? With all the news briefings and everything, how now they do include that? Yeah. Well, we're trying to encourage Emma to continue to learn it right. Because it's something I think that she could use to help people. We're trying to figure out a way to somehow at some point incorporate that into what she does with her shows.
Right.
Because that's a whole area of accessibility that's just not there. And you have the auto-generated
Closed captioning
things and all, but it's not quite the same, and they're not always accurate. So I think that would be great, but you've done a great job with that over the years. All right, are you ready? What? You have another question?
I heard you were talking about Animal Kingdom earlier.
Yeah, what about Animal Kingdom?
I am 11 days older than Animal Kingdom.
Oh, she has a special connection to Animal Kingdom because she was born the same month it opened.
Really?
April.
April. Wow. Yeah, no. That Animal Kingdom is, I think, one of the most richly themed parks in the United States. Maybe it's only bested by like Tokyo Disney Sea in Japan. But I mean, you can feel, Joe Rohde's fingertips all over that park. And yeah.
He's going to be missed, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including a Yeti.
Included. Well, maybe one day they'll get to the Yeti, I guess, huh?
He's in mode B.
He's in B mode, that's right.
Disco Yeti.
That's right, Disco Yeti. All righty, number 7.
What are some areas that you think could be improved at the Disney parks for people with disabilities?
Yeah, we're thinking are there maybe facilities or other services or anything that you've noticed through covering these things that?
Well, I've noticed that when you go to see Festival of the Lion King, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Finding Nemo the musical when it comes back, or Beauty and the Beast live on stage, or whatever it is, there's a visually impaired disability seating area. But then when you go to Disney Enchantment or Harmonious, right at the fireworks shows, there isn't that, and you just have to hope and rely on a cast member, to sprinkle some pixie dust.
Yeah.
Right. And or stake out a spot, a couple hours before the show. And if they could include, disabled seating area or standing areas for those shows, right? That would be a major improvement.
Well, there you go. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All righty. You want to move on to number 8?
We're on number 8 already?
We are. And we're going to be talking about his other website now.
Yeah.
The news site. So,
can you tell us a bit about MonroeNews.com?
Well, Monroe News came out of a story I wrote. So in 4 years ago, I went to Walt Disney World and I had a visceral hemorrhage while I was there. My eye filled with blood, and it became difficult to see out of one of my eyes. And everyone there was so accommodating. I wrote a post on the website Medium about it, and it got it got a considerable amount of views. And I had been toying with the idea of some sort of podcast or something of that nature. Prior to the article, I said, well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. And we had it set up in a week, and it just kind of, ballooned from there. And, we have, we don't have anybody that lives in Orlando and goes to the parks every day like some of your other sites do. Yeah. And, so we rely on Twitter and press releases and all of that to generate a lot of our content. And if we could get to the point where we're big enough to have teams of people, that'd be great. But if we're not, we're content doing what we're doing.
I've noticed though, and this has been, I don't know when it started, but I've noticed recently, just clicked in my head, that there are so many folks that are there in the parks now. It's like when they bring out one new item, it's got a story about it. Yeah. So it's
it might arrive.
Yeah, anything, right? Any little small thing. It's like there's so much competition for that information.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of it is just generic information.
Yeah.
And you have to sift through it to find what's relevant to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one thing. I'm not really interested in the new popcorn bucket, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'm not
right.
going to post about the new Mickey balloon popcorn bucket for the 50th, right? I walked in on October 1st and saw a line for that first popcorn park on Main Street that stretched all the way back to the Emporium. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my, And then I wanted popcorn later in the day, and I was over by Space Mountain, and the line for the popcorn cart, by the Joffreys, stretched all the way back to the Carousel of Progress.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not having popcorn today. Yeah. And it's all those scalpers and the other bloggers, and it's like, chill out, guys. Like, we're at max capacity today, and the line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is 30 minutes. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, if you're a Disney fan, a true Disney fan, you're having the run of the park on days like that. You're doing everything you want to do, right? Instead of shopping. That somebody made a comment that it was like a merchandise day more than it was.
It was. Yeah. Definitely a merch day.
Oh man. All righty. Well, this one hold on. We're gonna do questions. Okay, let's stay focused. All right. I think she wants to show you something, but we can do that toward the end.
Sure.
This kind of led into what we were just saying, I think. So you want to ask number 9?
When was the last time that you visited a Disney park, and which one was it?
I think you might have answered that already.
Yeah. Last week, I was in a Disney park at this time last week. I went for the 50th, so I was there. I got in on Wednesday and flew out on Sunday. And I went to Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. I did not hit Animal Kingdom. I meant to, but I was just, kind of busy. And I rode Rise of the Resistance twice with the new standby queue. And, that's great. Not having to get up at 7 a.m.
Oh,
I love that. That's phenomenal.
When we were there last year, we got a boarding group that I think was coming on. I think we were able to get on around 5 or 5:30.
Yeah, we were in group 100.
100.
100, yeah.
Yeah, and the problem, what was funny, was we got on. We actually got into the vehicles, and they had a power cut. So they walked us off the ride, and we didn't actually get to ride the ride, but we got through the whole queue, and it was really cool.
Well, let me tell you something. So I rode it twice, and one time I got the B mode for the very ending. So instead of seeing the Kylo animatronic, he's in a TIE fighter out the windows and just like blowing out of the sky. And then the other time, like, I don't know, there were like maybe too many cars out. So we stopped at various points where you usually, continue with the ride. But they had like additional audio and things that would happen. So the story kept going.
Oh,
there was one line at the very end when you're about to get off, it's a droid beeping, and like Finn is usually like, where is the lieutenant? We need to find Beck. Where is Beck? And we got he's like, the droid's beeping. He's like, no, I don't know droidese, whatever it's called. I'm still learning. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That is a great line.
They prepared for it.
Things like that like I was so happy to get to experience, and was so shocked when it happened for the first time. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is new. I've done this ride like 10 times, and I'm experiencing something new for the first time.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Well, they just walked us through backstage and all, which was kind of neat. We talked about that all night.
The microwave.
Yeah, I found the break room on the destroyer there with the microwave we talked about. But we're looking forward to this time. Hopefully, we're planning to be there in December.
But we have a popcorn bucket.
We have not from the 50th, but we do have some popcorn buckets. Yes. All right. Number 10.
What did you think of all of the 50th anniversary
additions
to the Walt Disney World?
Well, I have a green alien from Toy Story popcorn bucket, and I love it, and I really do want the Santa Claus version. but that's neither here nor there. The additions, I think are very, very good, right? Like, I think it's hard to top Happily Ever After, but that new Disney Enchantment theme song, You Are the Magic, I think is catchier, right? And I really need to see the show like 3 or 4 more times to really determine whether or not it's like the end all be all replacement for Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
Remy obviously is a much needed family attraction coming to Epcot, a park that needs more family attractions. It's also the first truly new Epcot attraction since Soarin' opened nearly 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's going to add much needed capacity to the park. And I think the Play Pavilion is going to be great, and obviously Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which opens next year as part of the 50th, I think is going to blow everyone's socks off, right? Just based on what I've heard.
She's a roller coaster fan, I tell you.
I am that in the Tron Light Cycle Power Run. I am so excited for that. I've been like jealously watching it in Shanghai, and I'm like, ooh, when are we gonna get that? And now we're finally getting it, and it's gonna be available hopefully during the 50th at some point during the next 18 months. And one more addition, Harmonious. It's a spectacle. Like, it is, I think, eye candy in a way that Epcot Forever and Illuminations worked. Thematically, it's a real departure from Illuminations, but some people aren't going to like that.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it, I think it's hard to say that it is visually not more impressive than Illuminations. You can argue all day long as to whether or not it has the heart and the message that Illuminations had. But let's face it, the average person coming to a Disney park wants spectacle. And they're going to get it with Harmonious. They're going to, have their fill.
That's a really good perspective. I've watched several videos and people talking about it, but I haven't heard it explained that way. So that's really good. Emma grew up with Illuminations, so she loves the music and the show and all. So we've been a little skeptical based on what we've heard, but the technology is got to be pretty impressive, and that's something.
Okay, one more thing: the Beacons of Magic. Right, I only have to see the Magic Kingdom, Cinderella Castle, and Spaceship Earth. But let me tell you, the new Spaceship Earth points of light are the best part of the whole new thing. Okay, every 15 minutes they run this show, and it's incredible. And I was walking out of the park after seeing Harmonious, and I was walking through the entrance, through Spaceship Earth, and I just was like, what's going on up here? And it was probably dozens of people, all who had stopped and were like sitting on the planters, just staring at Spaceship Earth like moths to a lantern. And I just sat there and sat down. And I was kind of like talking, that's really cool. And leaned over to the person next to me. And they're like, wait, what? It's really cool. And like they were so entranced by it, they almost didn't hear like what was going on around them. And it's awesome. That is the best part of the 50th to me. I could stare at it all night long.
We saw what was his name? Dallin from Offhand Disney.
Yeah.
He did a video about it, and he just had it in his background. It looked like he was trying not to tear up because it was just amazing to see, and it was unexpected.
I got a little emotional watching the little show.
It was unexpected for most people, right?
Unexpected, and videos do not do it justice, right? Like you have to see. I've heard take tons of photos. I think some of them came out pretty well, but none of them match the awe-inspiring nature of that new edition.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, definitely so. All righty. All right. Oh, we are on what?
I do have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What do you think of Hollywood Studios being like actually Animal Kingdom Beacon of Light?
Oh, what do you think about the two in those two parks, Hollywood Studios?
I have not seen those two in person, unfortunately. Had I been there for 4 days, I would have, or had 4 days after October 1st, I would have definitely made it a point to see them all. But based on the videos, I think they look nice. I mean, I think they all three, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, pale in comparison to the Epcot one, right? Like, you just can't beat it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's cool. Well, we're planning to go to all the parks, so hopefully we will see
Oh,
them
yeah.
all, right? All right. Well, now we are on to the last 5 questions. We have one question at the end that's special for the interview that we're doing with you, but we have 5.
Awesome.
The next 5 are all the fun. What would you rather questions?
Oh, awesome.
So, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you
Yes.
ready? Oh, all right.
That is a game, by the way.
Yes, we'll do this one instead. All right, go ahead.
If you could have a year's supply of any Disney park snack, what would it be?
This is difficult. I am a huge fan of the Mickey ice cream sandwiches in the parks. I also love the popcorn. If I could stretch the definition of snack and include the oysters at the boathouse, that would be the one I want a year's supply of. And somebody like shuck them on my like kitchen counter, that'd be great.
Okay, now I'm gonna make an editorial comment. When you were talking about that, you sound a lot like Lou Mangello.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, Lou and I were talking fairly recently about the Lucky Ducks at Boathouse, and they're just phenomenal. They're phenomenal. See, I went to the Boathouse every night I was at Disney World this past weekend.
Oh wow!
I go there so often, they know me by name.
There you go.
I walked in, and they're like, "Gray," and I'm like, "Yeah, how do you know my name?" They're like, "You come here all the time."
That's awesome. There you go. All righty. All right, number 12.
Wait, mine would be.
Oh, you want to share what your answer
Oh,
is?
go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to hear yours.
Will be a year's supply of melted butter popcorn.
Oh, melted butter popcorn. It's got to have the melted butter.
Ooh, yes, that was my other one. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, if it's not like Hershey chocolate, Emma's not really a sweets fan, but she loves popcorn. Yeah.
Love that Hershey chocolate.
All right. Number 12.
Okay. If you could live in any Disney Resort hotel, which one would it be?
Okay, if I can live in any room at any hotel, I want the Princess Diana suite in the Grand Floridian because it's like 3 rooms and it's actually like an apartment.
Oh wow.
Or maybe a grand villa at the Riviera. Or
we
a
haven't seen that
bungalow
one
with
yet.
the Polynesian.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'd be content.
The overwater bungalows with the little pool and everything.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that would be cool. What about you? What's your favorite, or what resort would you want to stay at if you could live there?
If we went with the original idea of making the character an actual hotel, I will get we stay there.
Yeah.
If
Disney would have actually built Tower of Terror as a hotel, which they originally thought about, right? Yeah. That would have been pretty cool.
With the original Ron Perlman himself as a spirit.
As a spirit.
Well, he is a spirit.
Emma likes the spooky.
He is a spirit,
Yes. Well, yeah. And we talked about you talked to Mark Silverman, right?
Yeah.
So she has another connection there with Tower of Terror. She loves that.
Yes.
All righty. Number 13.
If you could build any Disney park in your backyard, including any era, after the past one,
Right.
which one would it be?
Haunted Mansion.
With Patty.
The Disneyland or the Disney World?
Oh, the Disney World version. Totally. It's the superior version.
He said Disney World superior.
Look, the facade is great at Disneyland, but it lacks the additional music room scene, the library scene, the staircase scene.
Yeah.
It's longer.
That's a good point.
Okay, yeah, take my answer to Disney World. But
Okay.
with Hattie in it.
She wants Hatbox Ghost there.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we could fly him in as like an in residence character.
Sneak him in one night or something. That would be cool.
I was really hoping they'd do Hatbox Ghost for Walt Disney World's 50th, but they didn't.
She was hoping so. Oh goodness, you never know. Maybe they'll still do something, but
maybe.
All right, number 14.
If you could only visit one Disney park in the future,
what's the smile for?
I like to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to limit myself. This is a question.
This is a tough question. Huh?
Which one would you do?
Disneyland Park.
Disneyland.
Well,
yeah, I mean, yes, the Haunted Mansion is inferior, but it is the better park. It has more rides than Magic Kingdom. It has a classic Disney feel. You know, Walt walked there. It has Galaxy's Edge. It's gonna have Runaway Railway. You know, it's like the greatest hits of Disney castle parks.
That's a good point.
Wait, aren't they working on making Galaxy's Railway and Toontown right now?
Yes.
Yes, going in behind the land where the old office building used to be.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be adding it there in Toontown, just right, like you said. When we went, we have only been once, but when we went that time, it definitely feels like a different place.
Yes.
We did the Walk in Walt's Footsteps in Disneyland tour. And the biggest challenge we had on that tour was Emma wanting to tell the tour guide everything. Because
I have to know.
I had to hold my tongue on the 7 key or the keys to the kingdom tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was really fun. And she was great. She was a great tour guide. But Emma would stop her and say, but did you know? And then she'd go into everything else. We hopefully plan to get back there again, huh?
It's great.
Yeah. All right. Last question, at least that we have for the fun ones. And then we have the last one about the interview.
Wait a minute. Can I give my part?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. I keep jumping ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. So which park?
I'm thinking.
I thought you had an answer, which is why we were going to talk about it. All right.
Epcot, but the original version of Epcot.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
You never saw the original version of Epcot. You've just seen it on YouTube and stuff, right?
And so today, we talked with Mr. Ron Schneider.
That's right. That's right. She interviewed the original Dreamfinder, Ron Schneider, and he talked about what the early days were like and all. That was really neat. I'm old enough to have been there the first year. And it was definitely different.
My parents were actually in a parade for the 10th Muriel.
Yeah, my wife and I we marched in a parade for the 10th of Magic Kingdom. So that was a few years ago.
Yes.
About 40, actually.
That'd be probably around. Probably around
40 plus 10. Yeah, there you go. All right, number 15.
If you could ask Walt and Roy Disney one question right now, what will you ask them?
I want Walt's opinion on Bob Chapek. I'll say nothing more about that. But that is my question.
What about Roy?
His opinion on Bob Chapek also.
I think that would be a really interesting question. Yeah, that would be there'd be a lot of clicks on that story online if you had that.
Yes. The ultimate clickbait.
That would be amazing. What would you ask him?
I will ask Walt and Roy if I could have a hug.
Yes, you always say that. And then?
I'll ask Walt what is his opinion on how Disney is taking Epcot right now.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. What
would Walt think about Epcot now?
Then I'll ask Roy what does he think of the completely redeclaration.
Oh, rededication.
All the parts, including the
The what?
The ceremony.
The ceremony.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because we watched that and we were probably like some people were thinking, is this all?
Yeah.
We were ready for something big, and
No,
that didn't happen. But
like wicked.
yeah,
Or
like,
united with workers of earth.
well, just something bigger with the rededication, like, maybe having the different people back, maybe having, family, distant family or something
Of
from
Walt
Disney
and
or
Roy.
Roy's family. Yeah, something. I don't know. But
Or maybe Adam and Two there.
yeah,
Yeah.
could be interesting. But who knows, right? Still 18 months left. All righty. Well, we got one more question.
Okay.
And this is the last one. So you had to read that one.
Okay. As a person with a disability who loves Disney, do you have any advice for me and my channel?
We're getting some professional advice.
I would not consider my advice Please, don't take my advice. You're doing great now.
Advice.
Yeah.
Maybe don't fall into the trap that I sometimes do, where it's like, you don't update as much as you want to, because you get busy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've done more podcast appearances in the past 6 months than I've made episodes of my own podcast. So take that as you will. And it doesn't help that I have to get all of my equipment like out of a drawer every time. If I could just go into a room and like press a button and start, I think that would be motivation. But having to like set up and use my dining room table, is a bit of a killjoy when you want to do something fast. It's always an ordeal.
One of the things I'm trying to help Emma with, we used to do podcasts years ago when we lived in South Carolina, and one when we moved here initially about things to do in the city and all, because we were new.
Beyond the Riverwalk.
Yeah, in San Antonio. But one of the biggest challenges was to be consistent.
Yes.
Life happens and things come up. And what we're trying to do here is Emma does her live streams twice a week.
Right.
And we're trying to do interviews on Saturdays and trivia or something else on a Wednesday night. And I think it's just a good routine and a commitment.
Yes.
It's a responsibility to learn and to grow with.
Yes.
And we are now booking. So if you have any suggestions for guests, we would love those too, because we're now booking in the end of December and January. We have guests lined up every weekend for then. So she's been really doing a great job. But trying to connect with new people, and especially with people that we were talking about, maybe making more contacts in the disability community, we'd love to do. But anybody you think would be a great guest, we'd love to have any recommendations.
Yes, I would be happy to reach out to some people for you.
Okay, cool. Well, that is awesome. I think those are all your formal questions. Do you have anything left? She looks like she's excited to ask something else. What is it?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you one more question, Ray?
Of course, go ahead.
Have you ever checked out my YouTube channel, Coffee Mickey Project, before?
Yes. I do my research before I agree to come on something.
You have to ask whether he's a subscriber.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. I think I followed 4 people on DisabilityAtDisney on Instagram, and you're one of the 4. So
awesome. That is a great endorsement right there. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's
all right. Fun. Well, I think we have been talking for almost an hour. You want to say thank you and wrap it up?
Yeah.
It did. It went really quick. Thank you for doing this.
Really fast.
So your turn to wrap up the show there. Or wrap up the interview, I should say. Yeah.
Thank you, Greg Hogan, for being on my show.
Thank you. It's been an absolute delight.
This has been a lot of fun.
Made my week. Thank you so much for having me.
And when we get it posted, we'll send you the info.
Please let me know. I'd love to share.
If you wouldn't mind, just kind of share it wherever you think is appropriate. And from there, we'll stay in touch in terms of any suggestions you have for guests down the road, and to have you back if there's something new you want to share.
Sure, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely getting to speak with y'all.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
And we're back.
And we're back.
How was it, guys?
So what do y'all think? I think Greg did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And that was a little while ago. As you can tell, the background's changed a little bit since then. This is, by the way, Emma's Figment themed Christmas tree.
We have no popper yet.
We're waiting for the Figment character to come in for the top, but he's purple, orange, and gold, and lights. But anyway, so it's changed a little bit. It's been a while since we did the interview. I think it was earlier in probably last month. But we appreciate Grace's patience. We wanted to get it out on a good weekend where we knew a lot of people would be watching. And we had a great turnout tonight. So thank you, Gray, for sharing it with everybody. Thank you for being on in the first place, right? All right, guys. So let us know. What do you think? How do you think the interview was? Emma's mom, everyone was great. Thank you. It was great. It was so much fun to speak to y'all. Thank you, Gray. And Monica, great interview. Emma, thanks for joining the chat. Gray Hauser, thank you. Good job, Emma.
Thank you, Caitlin.
And Susan says, I enjoyed the interview. Great questions.
Thank you, Miss Dugan.
And Jonathan says, interview is great. That's awesome. Well, we're glad you enjoyed it. If you can, or if you're interested in it, please go out and share it with friends. If you are in Facebook groups or have contacts on Twitter or whatever that you think might be interested in watching the interview, please share it with people. It doesn't have to be live.
You can also tag a friend to watch.
Absolutely. You can tag friends in Facebook.
I do not know about Twitter and Instagram.
You can do that as well. So there you go. All right. Before we wrap it up, we want to share one thing with you, and that Emma's fundraiser for Disability SA here in San Antonio runs until next Friday night, 12/3.
And next coming Friday, guys.
That's right. She's almost to her goal on her GoFundMe page. You can find a link at talkingmickey.com/fiesta. And for everyone who donates $15 or more, we're going to send you one of these. This is what's called a Fiesta medal here in San Antonio. And it's double-sided. You want to show the other side?
It's a QR code that'll bring you to a very special page made for you guys.
On her website, a very special page. Okay, there you go. So if you're interested, please go out there and check out the page. You'll learn about Fiesta Especial. You'll learn about Disability SA, and you'll learn about Fact Institute, Emma's program, right? Emma's school. All righty. Well, I think.
Don't worry, Dolphin. We'll be bringing yours next Sunday, which is Walt's 120th birthday. So you're going to be hearing a little special note from me.
That's right.
If Mandy can make me, if I can act with Mandy, if I can do it.
There's actually, I'm sure it should be okay, but there is actually a big get together for everybody in Fiesta Especial next weekend. They're going to announce all the totals from all the different fundraising, and we're finally going to meet Jonathan in person.
And hopefully Monica.
That's right. Hopefully Monica as well. There she is. So thank you guys for being here tonight. We appreciate your support each and every week. Emma is learning and growing and meeting some amazing people, and hopefully she's having a good influence and by inspiring others with disabilities to reach out and do what they love, like their own YouTube channel about Disney. All righty. So we're going to say goodnight. How do you do that, Em?
As always, I thank you all so much for watching. Make a like, subscribe, and share this channel with your family and friends. If you're happy that you are new, brand new, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
There you go.
If you want to help me and support me, you can go on Patreon.
Oh, Emma has a Patreon also. It's linked on her website, talkingmickey.com.
And you can also once again want to help me with my fundraiser by donating. You can go at talkingmickey.com/Bianca.
And what I was waiting for her to say was, we'll
Yeah, real good. Night.
see you real soon.
Breakfast, Carol.
Trivia Wednesday night. Interview with Walt Disney Birthplace Saturday night.
This coming Saturday.
Good night.